Welcome. We'll get started shortly. Before we begin, here's how to earn continuing professional education credit for attending this session. There are no polling questions or attendance checks. Instead, you will demonstrate your knowledge by taking a brief multiple-choice quiz using the Earmark app. Visit earmark.app in your web browser. You can also download the mobile app by scanning the QR code on the screen. Log in, or if you're new, create your free account. Be sure to use a valid email address because that's where we'll send your course completion certificates. From the home screen, scroll down to find the course. You can also tap the magnifying glass icon to search for the course. Tap on the course artwork, then the Enroll button. On the Course tab, you'll find the recording and quiz questions. Complete the quiz to earn your CPE certificate. It takes us a few days to create the course on the app, so if you are attending this session live, please wait a few days. We'll email you a link to the course when it is ready. If you have questions or need help, email us at support@earmarkcpe.com. And now, on to the event. Buckle up, accountants. It's time for another Earmark Expo, where we're taking the latest accounting tech for a test drive. I'm Blake Oliver, joined as always by David Leary. How you doing, David?
Hey, good.
Here's how this is going to work. We are going to floor it with a live demo of a game-changing app, Forwardly. David and I are going to be in the driver's seat, putting this app through its paces and asking the tough questions that every accountant wants to know the answers to. And guess what? You're riding along with us. We want you, our live audience, to help us navigate. Ask your own questions through the chat, and we will highlight them for Nick to answer. This is your chance to see cutting-edge accounting tech in action, get your questions answered in real time, and gain insights that could transform your practice. So take a seat and let's roll with today's Earmark Expo.
And Blake, I don't know how well your memory is, but I remember the first time we recorded at a conference, and it was at QuickBooks Connect 2019. And I distinctly remember, and I don't know if it was things that maybe QuickBooks showed on the screen, but I distinctly remember and predicting that that was going to be the year of B2B instant payments. Well, I was wrong. That was 2019. But now, today in 2024, I can confidently say this is the year of B2B instant payments, and mainly because of the Treasury Department's efforts with FedNow to upgrade and improve the 50-year-old ACH system. And today's app, Forwardly, is really one of the very first apps, and it might be the first app I know in our space that implemented FedNow. And now small businesses can have instant payments.
And instant meaning like same day, right? Within...
I think it's seconds. We'll find out when Nick shows us, but I think
That's
within
exciting.
22 seconds, they claim.
Well,
Yeah.
Nick, I'm really excited to hear about it. Is that true?
That is very true. Thanks, Blake and David, for having me here. Yes, you nailed it, David. ACH is almost, it came in 70s, so almost 50-year-old now. And unfortunately, we haven't seen much innovation in the space in the last 50 years. We saw some innovation happening in Europe, India, and Brazil, or those kind of countries, and businesses there, they have been receiving these payments instantly from their customers, or they're paying bill instantly. But we have been a bit slow. And David, you are a bit right here too. In 2019, when you were thinking about instant payment, in fact, there was a introduction of instant payment that time from the clearinghouse we have here. They brought the first payment system here, RTP. It's been here with us for the last 6-7 years, but it didn't take much traction because the technology was available only to large corporations or bigger companies who were the clients of the bigger banks, like the Chase Bank or those kind of. But with Fed now, like you mentioned, everything changed. Now the smaller players, smaller banks, credit unions, and now the apps are coming up too, who are going to help small businesses as well and their accountants.
Well, so Nick, you mentioned accountants, and that's what I'm eager to hear about, is how Forwardly helps accountants take advantage of this new technology.
Yeah, what's really interesting about Forwardly is we deliver payments instantly. Even though we are still a little bit dependent on the ACH side because of we have some legacy technology in the US market. It's not 100% instant, and there are two parts of pulling the payment and pushing the payment. and still there's a mix of the plumbing here happening. So we have this accounts receivable, accounts payable system where we connect to your QuickBooks account. We fetch all your QuickBooks data and invoices. And I guess you guys can see my screen now, right? We
I'm
already
adding
shared.
it to the stage right now. So we got
All
your
right.
screen there. So before you get into it, I just want to understand, I can
Mhm.
do my clients can do the invoicing in QuickBooks, and then
That,
that comes into Forwardly.
that is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we have live integration with QuickBooks, so we pull all the invoices as well as bills that might be coming in there too.
So you do AR and AP both.
That's correct.
Got it.
All right. Well, let's dive in. I'm eager to see how this works.
Perfect. So here is the dashboard that an accountant will see. They will see the practice settings here as well. They can add some information. They can add other key members as well here. So this is our staging environment because we're dealing with payments here. So I'm gonna go to this test company here, and this is our dashboard. We display higher level view of your bank balance because part of the technology is you connect your accounting system, you connect your banks, and we match it, and we do all those kind of reconciliation too. So you can add one or more bank accounts there in which you would like to receive payment in, or you would like to send your bill payment from. So higher level view will show you here, and any bills to pay, they're going to show up here as well. Any approval that are waiting for you to for some action, they're going to show up here as well. So all the invoices here, anything rather than the draft mode or you already created in QuickBooks, they're gonna show up here on this screen. And your bills, a higher level view of the bills, and these are the outstanding bills in the staging environment that still need to be paid. And those are the kind of thing we made it very, very simple. Anytime you go there to make a bill payment, we're gonna check your bank balance if you have enough money in the bank account to make the payment. If there is, the bill will be paid. If there's a problem, we're going to show you a message that you need to put more money in the bank account.
And it
That,
looks like you actually have the banks across the top of the screen.
that is
Is that
correct.
correct? And
And
you're connected to them so I could see the balances. Because that's the I've had with bill payment apps. You go to pay the bill, but you don't know what balance you have in that bank account, right? Because the
That,
balances aren't there.
and I love how
that,
you're aggregating the balances, so we can see here's the total cash we have across all of our accounts, and we can eyeball that compared to the outstanding bills and see, well, in this case, in this test account, we've got 24,000 in our bank account, but we've got $42,000 of outstanding bills. So we're going to have to prioritize here.
that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. And other benefit of this instant payment is, uh, we have seen it many times. The due date is, let's say, 30th. And what's going to happen is what we are doing, or accountants or their clients, they're doing is they are making those bill payments on, let's say, 27th and maybe 25th if it's a bank holiday, right? So we are making those payments 3 days, 5 days early just to make sure the money reaches the account on the due date. But with instant payment around us, you don't need to do that. You can make the payment in the last day, last hour, maybe last minute too, because all these payments are settled within, I would say, mostly within 20 seconds or so. But on a higher level, you can say within a minute.
Makes sense.
Are we there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're here.
Oh,
So,
all right.
so I see also you have, a payments made tab. Can we see what that looks like?
Yeah, these payment made. Yeah, these are the payments made.
Okay, so we can
So
see our
you can.
history. What happens if we click on details there?
So it shows the amount
Hmm.
and due date, those kind of things, when it was made and in which bank account it went to.
See, I really like this because often when I was paying bills for clients, I would get asked by a vendor, hey, what's the status of this payment? They didn't record it properly in their system. And so I could screenshot this and I could simply send that. And there it is. It's got the date when it was initiated, processed, delivered. It's got the transaction ID and what account it was paid from. That's great.
And it
That
builds
that is
confidence because you're sending money and you want to know where it's at. I mean, if I order a $50 thing on Amazon, I can see the whole path. And if I send $1,000 to the internet, or I want to see where it's going, right?
that is correct. And the tracking is available, and because we are connected to your accounting system, we update your ledger as well with the notes and the payment mark is paid.
Nick, you mentioned that you're integrating with QuickBooks Online. Are there any other accounting systems that you pull invoices and bills from?
Yes, currently we are integrated with QuickBooks Online and Xero, FreshBooks, and Zoho. These four are currently working with our
Got it.
system.
And how does the sync work? When I make a payment with Forwardly, when do I see that in, say, QuickBooks? And how does it post?
Well, it posts instantly as soon as the payment is processed and made. And because of most of our payments, they are instant. And as soon as they're being made, we're gonna update your ledger with the record that this was the amount and this date and with this time. And if there's any memo that you added, that's also gonna be added. And also about our platform is, so coming back to the instant payments like the FedNow or ITP, just to be clear, FedNow is a solution from Federal Reserve, and ITP is a solution from a private organization called the Clearinghouse, the TCH. So we have two kind of instant payment system in the U.S. market, and our technology support both of them in this case. So anytime the payment is made, we decide which bank support ITP or FedNow. Currently, we know there are almost 10,000 financial institutions in the U.S. market, but only around 1,100 or so they support together FedNow and ITP. But the major one, they all support it. It's almost 77% of the DDA account that we have that they support this kind of instant payments. So what's cool about us is our goal is to push instant payment into the bank account of these accountants or small businesses because every business needs to be paid instantly. But in case your bank doesn't support instant payment, or there's some issue on the payer side, they didn't go through the plat verification or those things, we send you same day ACH payment, and those payments are free. There's no cost for those kind of payments too.
So when I send a payment, you're looking at where it's going, figuring out what they can accept, and then picking the fastest rails possible for that person I'm paying.
So, well, they cannot pick up let me, if you allow me to walk through this a little bit workflow here, right? Let's say I'm on the invoices. I created this invoice in QuickBooks, and I want to request a payment from my clients. So I'll request a payment. I'll enter their email address, whatever email address is there, and I can accept the payment in this case, whether through a bank transfer. They can pay via their bank, or they can set them up for credit card. This business is not set up for credit card right now, so obviously it's not working. It's not available. This option is not available. So anytime you let's say I'm going to put my email address here. I submit a payment request. So your customer, they're going to receive a payment request. And in case, they have connected their accounting system to Forwardly, we can also update, we can create a draft bill in their account as well. So those kind of things are possible through our system as well. So you can see I requested the payment, they get an email, hey Nick, you need to make this payment, and I push the button, and just they're taken to a bank account screen, whether they connect through Plaid or they can enter the routing number, account number, they can just make the payment.
Okay, so I get the email, I receive the invoice. If I happen to be another Forwardly customer, it shows up as a bill in my Forwardly to pay. But if not, I get dropped into a website or an experience, right?
Yeah, so there are two aspects of it, email, the one, it goes to the email, and when they click on it, we bring them to our app. But the feature I was talking about is here in the invoices, where we can create those invoices in QuickBooks or Xero is this, so we call it four-way sync. And anytime you create an invoice on our platform, let's say you are using QuickBooks and your customer is using Xero. Yeah. So these two systems are disconnected. They don't have any link, but you are our Forwardly customer and your client is also a Forwardly customer. So you're gonna create an invoice at Forwardly, and in case they have connected their accounting system on their site, let's say whether it's a QuickBooks or Xero, any one of these, and then this invoice is gonna be created on their side as a bill. That's what I mean. We call it four-way sync.
So
So the line items.
I create the invoice in QuickBooks. It goes through Forwardly, goes to their Forwardly, and shoves it into their Xero as a bill.
That is correct. But the invoice creation has to be initiated at Forwardly. This feature, they have to push this button, create invoice. It's because we are connected with QuickBooks here. So you are creating an invoice, but it's gonna push that invoice in real time into your live QuickBooks account, in your QBO account. Okay. So if you create invoice in QuickBooks, then we won't be able to do it. So there's a big difference here. I just want to be clear about that one.
So can you show us? Oh, go ahead.
So Nick, how much does this cost, like to send payments, to accept payments?
Our pricing is for the bill, for the bank payments. It's 1% of the transaction, but we cap it at $10. And in case this pricing is just for the instant payments. For any instant payment that we deliver to you, we're gonna charge you 1%, up capped at $10. But if your bank doesn't support instant payment, or you couldn't qualify for instant payments due to some problem on the payer end, then the payment will go same day ACH, and those payments are free on our platform. For credit card, we have standard pricing, 2.99% plus 25 cents per transaction.
So if I wanted to, could I use Forwardly just for ACH? Do I have to use the same day or the instant payment?
Like I shared, our goal is to ensure every business get instant payments. Currently, I would say majority of our customers, they are getting ACH payment. It's something we control. Our goal is to push every payment through instant payment, but due to many reasons, either the lack of bank connection, many businesses are not able to achieve the instant payment goal right now.
Got it.
So it's something happens automatically on the back end. Our goal is to push towards everyone to instant payment though.
So it's 1% capped at $10 per payment. Yeah. And then obviously for credit cards, there's a different price. Is there any monthly fee like that I have to pay to use Forwardly?
There's no monthly fee. There's no activation fee, no monthly subscription needed. It's per transaction based. Anytime you use the platform, there's a transaction happening, and that's the time you're gonna pay us the fee.
What about like recurring invoices? If I charge somebody every month the same amount or a different amount, how does Forwardly handle that?
Currently, we don't create any recurring invoices on our platform, but those features are coming next year. But if you have those invoices created in QuickBooks, we're gonna fetch them automatically. You create an invoice there, and you can sync those invoices here. You created them, or if they are recurring, we're gonna fetch them on daily basis from your bank, from your QuickBooks connection. What happens is these accounting systems, some of them, they have webhooks where we can fetch real-time invoices as they are being created on the platform. Some are not. And so we have this manual sync option where we can fetch all those recurring invoices as well. we have another feature here, auto payments as well. And what we see, many accountants and bookkeepers, they're using this feature. So what happens, you request a mass authorization from your clients, and you can select those clients that you're going to request auto authorization from them. You make a request to them. They get a forms looking website where they enter their bank information, or they connect through Plaid, and we collect the authorization from them. So that way, those one-time invoices or those recurring invoices, we're going to auto collect payments for you without any work on you on your side.
So if I want to bill my clients on a monthly basis, as long as I'm creating my invoice on a monthly basis in QuickBooks, it seems to hear you're going to automatically just go and collect those every month for me.
That's correct. That is correct understanding.
Okay, that's great. That is convenient. And if I have my, like, how does it work to get these going? If I have my clients' payment information, can I just enter it and start these, or do they have to like press a button? How does that all work?
No, currently you don't need to provide us this information. We collect from them. And on our platform, we don't share any bank information with the counterparty. So that's part of the security feature here. But what we are finding is, like, just yesterday, we onboarded a firm that has more than 60 clients, but they already had authorization from their clients. So they already had a form that they recently signed. So we accept those we have a white label service for them, where we do mass onboarding for those clients, because you have already received authorization from your clients, so that you don't need to go through. We know how painful it is to go back and ask them for bank account information. So we have a separate process. So reach out to our customer service, and we'll be able to help you out with those ones. We have seen, many accounting firms, 20, 40, 60 clients, they don't want to go through the pain again. So we have this kind of process for them.
And when I do send a new payment request to my client, what does that look like?
Well, let's have a look. It just look like a pre-authorization form. I wish I was just looking at a few days ago on that one, but I can send it to you right now. Maybe I can show it to my email.
So do they get an email, and then
simple. They get an email on their side, and they push the button, and it asks them for the bank information. That it show your name, that this accounting firm has requested this information, and they are asking for your authorization, just like any kind of payment authorization form we have seen.
And is it okay if the invoice amount changes on
that
these?
That is correct.
Okay,
yeah.
So they're authorizing us to just charge
we have
them.
drafted authorization, like we see, we'll collect authorization from them that for any invoice, whether one-time invoice or any recurring invoice, we are going to debit the bank account.
Got it.
And they can also revoke that kind of permission anytime in case they create a forwardly account.
So if I'm an accountant and I'm using Forwardly for my clients to help them collect money, do you have a dashboard to manage multiple accounts? Like, let's say I have 10 clients and they're using Forwardly. How do I manage that for them?
Yes, we do. So like on the dashboard, this is, let's say, my practice file, and this one is my client, the Sandbox company one. Anytime you need to add a client, you just click on add a business, and you connect their QuickBooks or Xero, whatever connection it is. You provide the name, and you will be able to have their bank accounting data here.
And I see you've got an option to skip. Can I set up Forwardly without having an accounting system?
You can skip right now, and let me share the other screen where I believe I have it, where we have skipped the connection to. Yes, you can definitely skip the screen.
Because I'm thinking that might be helpful for a client who uses like a different GL system, but they still want to get the benefits. Like, what if they're on QuickBooks Desktop? They want to use Forwardly to collect payments. And
so
stuff,
like in this case, you can see they didn't connect their accounting system, right? So we know they didn't connect the accounting system. We can see, they connected the bank account though here. All right. So any invoice that you created, they got a payment request like this bill that need to be paid, and they can go there because in this case they have already connected the bank account through Plaid, and so we can fetch the balance from them. Uh, we can fetch only if you connect through Plaid. In case they enter their routing number and account number, we won't be able to do that one in those cases. And they can just want to push the button and make the payment. Whether they want to pay right now, they can. In case they want to schedule the payment, they can schedule the payment too, and which bank account they want to pay from.
So scheduling payments, that's interesting. That brings up cash flow concerns. If I schedule out payments, is there any way to see what my balance will be after those payments have happened? Because that's one of the things I had to keep my eye on as an accountant was I schedule payments for clients, but I gotta check on those bank balances to make sure that we don't overdraft.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Blake. Currently, we don't display that one, but definitely I'm going to take this feedback to our product team. Yeah, that's a very good point.
If the payment is scheduled in the future, does it post to the accounting system now, or does it post when it gets paid?
It gets posted when it gets paid.
Got it. Because there's a few ways that I've seen people do this. One is you set up all the payments in the future in QuickBooks, and then you can see the register balance and use that to make sure you don't overdraft. But it would be really neat if there were some sort of simple cash forecast, just showing me here's the bank balance today, and then here's all the scheduled payments and like a chart, like a graph. I have never, it's so funny because I feel like there's a lot of accounts payable solutions and payment solutions, but none of them seem to want to tackle that. So it would be awesome if you built that.
Yeah, I think it would be possible because as long as we have direct connection to your accounting system and your bank, we should be able to do it. From technology wise, I think it's possible. Yeah.
And it almost feels more reliable than a lot of cash flow projection stuff that's very accounts receivable dependent, because apps don't know what future sale is coming, but you know what bills exist and what bills you've sent payments for and how much cash is in the bank. All that data is there. So you're right. In the accounts payable side, it makes a lot of sense for apps to have that functionality.
Well, and then, Nick, since you're taking my suggestions here, I would say if you're going to build this, definitely add the ability to create a manual adjustment with a date that just acts like a in or out on the cash projection, because that way we can estimate what the bank balance will be after payroll, for instance. And that's what I would do too. It's basically the same thing you do in a simple Excel spreadsheet to project cash for the next 20 days, no more than a month kind of thing. That's what I always needed to do.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to take this feedback to the team. Yeah.
I feel like whatever you do, it's going to be good because Forwardly looks so simple and easy to use. And you've already got that consolidated balance there, right? Just adding in that the projected balance would be so valuable. Really cool.
That's correct. Yeah.
Is there anything else that we should know about Forwardly from an accounting perspective? What was the credit? We can take credit cards. We can pay with credit cards. What's the fee on that again?
It's a 2.99% plus 25 cents per
so
transaction.
The Stripe standard Stripe
just like
fee.
Stripe and
and then how does that work? If I want to get paid and I send an invoice, a payment request to a customer, does it show them a credit card option? Can I turn that off? Can I turn that on?
Yes, definitely. You can turn them off or on right now. For all of your clients, we don't have functionality where you can pick and choose for one client, but we are working on those kind of enhancements as well, where you'll be able to pick and choose per invoice, per transaction base as well.
And
got it.
For the credit card fee, is this I can have the customer pay the fee or I can pay the fee?
Yes, you can decide those ones. And most of the time we have seen it's the customer who is going to pay the fee.
Yeah, I feel like that's the trend with everybody these days.
Yeah.
And I was just going to ask, can you go into your preferences?
So what my preference is, when I collect payments, is I want to, if the customer wants to pay with a credit card, have them pay the fee. But if they want to pay with ACH or with FedNow, then I'm happy to pay the fee because it's lower.
That's correct. Yeah, that's what we are saying too. That's correct.
But it would be great if you had a lot of flexibility on that, right? So that I could say, even if I accept the electronic payments, I still want my customer to pay that 1% or up to $10 fee, like if I so choose, right? Because I know there's some folks who want to be able to have that flexibility.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was actually going to ask you about approvals, but it looks like you might be going there right now.
Yeah. How sophisticated is the approvals?
Yeah, approvals are, currently based on the transaction amount and how many approvals you need. You can set up any time, any threshold, 600, whatever you want to do it. Now, how many approvals you need, you can decide on those kind of things. So we have seen a lot of businesses using those one. You can add approval anyone, or you can remove them anytime. We have seen anytime, the firm, 8 or 10 employees or more, one day they start using it. That's what we have been seeing, this kind of functionality there. We do
have,
have
multiple approvers. Does that mean both have to approve, or whoever gets there first approves it?
No, they both have to approve in this
Both
case.
have to approve, okay.
Like in this case, there are 2 approvers, right? So they both need to approve. It doesn't matter who approves it first, but we need approval from both of them.
And I think that's really important. I've seen nonprofits or people with the board of directors and 3 people have to sign off. Some payment apps, it's one person gets there first, hit approve, payments out the door, and versus needing all 3 signatures, if you want to call it that. Yep. And so this is good too, as an accountant. If you're paying bills on your client's behalf, you could schedule all the bills, pay them all, and then the business owner comes in and just does the approvals.
Yeah, they could be the last person to approve it, and as soon as the last person approve it, the payment is made.
I'm trying to think. Now, do you still, if somebody does not have ACH, do you send paper checks to them? If they
No checks, we don't support checks.
Okay.
And checks are so outdated and so cumbersome to manage. So
there's a lot of risk.
we have no intention of supporting checks for the business payment. And also, I would like to clarify that our solution is for B2B payment. So both sides, they have to be a business. We don't accept payment from consumers or send payment to consumers right now. That might change next year, but this is the plan right now.
So what does that mean exactly? Like my business pays independent contractors?
Yeah, they will be business. They are a business, right? They're 1099.
But so if they have like a personal account that they're using to receive payments, though, like, will I not be able to pay into that account?
No, that will be acceptable use of the platform. Yeah.
Got it. It's just that I can't be selling business to consumer and having people making payments to me, like paying invoices that are like I sell hats to David. And
I think for accounting firms where it's interesting is you can use it with your CAS clients that you're using, the businesses, but if you're doing personal tax returns for people, those people can't pay you through a product like Forward.
That's correct. Yeah.
All right.
That's a common question that comes often here. And so we are planning to handle it and may allow consumer acceptance of consumer payments next year, but we're going to see how it goes. That's on our roadmap. But there is no restriction from the bank side or technology-wise. It's just a business decision that we need to make.
It's a whole different level of support too.
That is correct.
So what else is on your roadmap then? So obviously, hopefully consumer payments. Blake's features,
our roadmap
build those.
Yeah, we're gonna keep building this one. Right now, our system is totally API connected, and like I shared with you, our four-way sync. So data move from QuickBooks to Zero and those kind of platforms. So we're gonna keep on enhancing those one. We're gonna bring other integrations as well with other ERP platforms, like Sage Intacct or NetSuite or those kind of integrations as well over the time. And also on the bill payment side, we do have requests from our customers. They want to manage the whole bill here on the platform. So we're gonna bring the kind of where we can OCR bills, or they can email all the bills to one email address, and we extract the data and use the AI to code and classify those transactions. So those are the kind of things that we're gonna work on.
What about the permissions, the user permissions in the system? Can you show us those?
Yeah, definitely. Let me go back to do the screen. So these are the team members you have. Anytime you need to add another user, we have four different kind of permissions. The admin or advisor, they have the kind of superpowers at the platform. Payment manager or reviewer, they can do certain things about the payment. The reviewer, obviously, they can only review. They can't take any action on those kind of things. But like I shared on the approval threshold, I don't know if you saw the admin advisor, they can always bypass these workflow, right? In case they want to bypass, you are an owner and you want to, there are three approval, but you need to make a payment, you can always bypass those kind of things. So those kind of permission is here. But if you are a firm and you need to add your employees here, you can add them here, firm level, and then you can assign them later to your clients as well.
That's great. So just one login for each of my team members, and then I can delegate access to different client accounts as appropriate.
That's correct. That's
And
correct.
then can I give them different permissions on each client account?
That's correct.
Great.
So if you go back to the other users tab again, or the add new user.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So is reviewer then just view only, or can reviewer still approve as well?
No, reviewer is view only. They cannot approve.
So if it's a board member that just needs visibility, or you're getting audit, that type of a role.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Understand.
In case they need access to the system, they want to see things. Yeah, correct.
Okay. That seems simple enough. Anything else that we should see? Is there like any customizations to the invoices?
Currently, we don't have any customization, but like I shared,
I guess what do the
in our
invoices
roadmap,
look like?
currently you can create invoices in your accounting system. You create on forwardly, but it's going to push the data, line items, those kind of information to your QuickBooks or Zero account. But in the future, we're going to bring so that you create an invoice, it's straightforwardly, and we will allow some customization. You can add a logo, you can change the font color, those kind of things. We do get requests from people that they want to add, they want to do those kind of things at Forwardly platform.
I think you mentioned something about white glove support. So what kind of support and training do you offer accountants?
So we work extensively with accountants, and our obviously the first way we see most people, they reach out to us through email, and we have support system there where we support them through our email system. And second thing, anytime we need to get on a call or we need to demo, we use MS Team for those kind of meetings or call. So those are video calls where we do the demo, we provide them support, and for the mass onboarding, we provide them the full functionality. So only thing we need from them is create an account at Forwardly and provide us all their clients' information. Make sure their clients' information is in the QuickBooks and it matches with the authorization forms that they have received from their clients. And that's the only information we need for them, and we can fully onboard them and support them. And we can do very, very quickly within a few days, and depending on the volume. What we have seen, if it's a month end, like this week is going to be pretty busy. We have seen many bookkeeping, accounting firms coming to us. Oh, we need to mass onboard all of our clients, but we can do only so much because it's a pretty manual process where we need to verify the information, the bank information, all that kind of thing. But we try to work extensively with them, supporting, making sure they get the best experience on the platform. And what I've seen it, once you start using the platform, you stick with it. You never go back to the old way of ACH or checks or whatever you were doing it before.
Well, thank you so much for showing us this, Nick. Really appreciate it. I think this is a fantastically simple solution that it's so easy to get started, right? There's no fee to sign up. You can just try it and see how you like it, which is something David and I always appreciate with an app.
And I like the pricing model because you're only going to charge me when you're successful at sending it instantly. If you couldn't send it instantly, hey, we're not going to charge you on this payment. I really like that kind of a business model where I'm only going to pay when I get the best service, the instant service.
And also the instant payment too. We have seen auto payments, the functionality that we have for auto payments. We have seen many times you do the best work, but there would be someone who doesn't want to pay or who, so you are at the mercy of them when to make you the payment. But if you have auto collection from them, or you have the bank information, then Forwardly will take care of you.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nick. Stay tuned for a brief message about how to earn continuing professional education for joining us today. Hope to see you all around soon on our next Earmark Expo. Today's event has ended. To earn CPE, go to earmark.app or scan the QR code on the screen. Then log in or create your free account. Search for the course by tapping on the magnifying glass icon on the home screen and then entering the name of this event. It takes a few days to make the course, so if you're attending this event live, keep an eye out for an email letting you know when the course is available. Pass the quiz to earn your CPE, then tap the button to email yourself a certificate. Stay tuned for more events from Earmark. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you again soon.